Punjab, he is often referred to as the Mad Arab, after being driven crazy by the Necronomicon. No Arabic manuscript is known to exist anymore. A Latin translation was made in 1487 by Alaus Wormius, not in the 17th century as Lovecraft maintains. Almost 100 years later, in 1586, a copy of Wormius's Latin translation surfaced in Prague. Dr. John Dee, the famous English magician, and his assistant Edward Kelly, were at the court of the Emperor Rudolph II to discuss plans for creating gold, and Kelly bought the copy from the Kabbalist Jacob Eliezer, who had fled to Prague from Italy after accusations of necromancy. The Necronomicon appears to have had a marked influence on Kelly, because his scrying changed, and he contacted an evil entity, which struck horror into the Dee household. Kelly left Dee shortly afterwards. Dee then translated the Necronomicon into English, but contrary to Lovecraft, this translation was never printed. The manuscript passed into the collection of the great collector Elias Ashmole, and then to the Bodleian Library in Oxford. Why did the novelist H.P. Lovecraft claim to have invented the Necronomicon? The answer to this interesting question lies in two people, the evil magician Aleister Crowley and Sonia Green. There is no question that Crowley had Dee's translation of the Necronomicon, probably while researching Dee's papers. Too many passages in Crowley's Book of the Law read like a transcription from the Necronomicon. Crowley also claimed to remember his life as Edward Kelly in a previous incarnation. Why doesn't Crowley mention the Necronomicon in his works? He was surprisingly reticent about his real sources. There is a strong suspicion that 777, which Crowley claimed to have written, was largely plagiarized from the Necronomicon. I suspect that the Necronomicon became an embarrassment to Crowley when he realized the extent to which he had unconsciously incorporated passages from it into the Book of the Law. In 1918, Crowley was in New York. As always, he was trying to establish his literary reputation. Sonia Green was a Jewish emigre with literary ambitions, and she had joined the Walker's Sunrise Club. It was there that she first encountered Crowley, who had been invited to give a talk. They met again on an irregular basis for some months. In 1921, Sonia Green met the novelist H.P. Lovecraft, and in that same year Lovecraft published the first novel, The Nameless City, where he mentions Abdul el-Hazard. In 1922 he first mentions the Necronomicon in The Hound. On March 3, 1924, H.P. Lovecraft and Sonia Green are married. We do not know what Crowley told Sonia Green, and we do not know what Sonia told Lovecraft. However, consider the following quotation from the Call of Cthulhu 1926, "The cult would never die until the stars came right again, and the secret priests would take Cthulhu from his tomb to revive his subjects and resume his rule of Earth. The time would be easy to know, for then mankind would have become as the great old ones, free and wild, and beyond good and evil, with laws and morals thrown aside and all men shouting and killing and reveling in joy. Then the liberated elders would teach them new ways to shout and kill and revel and enjoy themselves, and all earth would flame with a holocaust of ecstasy and freedom. It may be brief, it may be mangled, but it is the undeniable ring of Crowley's Book of the Law. It is easy to imagine a situation where Sonia and Lovecraft are laughing and talking in a firelit room about a new story, and Sonia introduces some ideas based on what Crowley had told her. She wouldn't even have to mention Crowley, just enough of the ideas to spark Lovecraft's imagination. There is no evidence that Lovecraft ever saw the Necronomicon, or even knew that the book existed. His Necronomicon is remarkably close to the spirit of the original, but the details are pure invention, as one would